Welcome to Southwest Desert, where adventure meets the arid beauty of the American Southwest. Join us as we explore the rugged landscapes, uncover hidden historical gems, and dive deep into the rich legends and culture of this iconic region. Subscribe now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on our latest desert adventures. Please leave a like or comment. This is very helpful. Let's journey together into the heart of the Southwest Desert. Welcome to Southwest Desert, where we uncover the most fascinating tales from America's southwestern deserts. I'm your host, Alan, and today we're diving into an extraordinary story that combines gold, survival, and one of the most treacherous landscapes in North America. Imagine finding 17 pounds of gold nuggets scattered across the desert floor like fallen stars, only to nearly lose your life trying to get back to civilization. Then, imagine taking that secret to your grave, leaving behind only a crude map and a story that would tantalize treasure hunters for generations. This isn't fiction, folks. This is the true story of the lost gold of the Algodones Dunes, a tale that has captivated desert explorers and treasure hunters for over a century. The year was 1917, and the world was at war. But here in the American Southwest, another kind of battle was being waged, the eternal struggle between man and desert. In June of that year, an unnamed prospector left the bustling border town of Mexicali. His destination, the promising Cargo Muchacho Mountains to the east. His equipment, nothing more than a pack burro and the basic tools of his trade. Now, any experienced desert rat would tell you there were two ways to reach the Cargo Muchachos. The safe way was to follow the plank road through Highway Pass, a wooden roadway laid down just a few years earlier to help travelers cross the treacherous sands. But our prospector, either through poor judgment or fate's intervention, chose a different path. He turned north at Gray's Well, seeking what appeared to be a low pass through the Sand Mountains. What happened next would become desert legend. A sudden, violent sandstorm struck, the kind that old-timers say can strip the paint off a car. These storms could turn the Algodones into what survivors described as a biting, choking, burning hell. In such conditions, even the most experienced desert travelers would become disoriented, and many never lived to tell their tales. Our prospector lost everything in that storm: his burro, his water, his food, and all his equipment. The burro was never found, likely buried somewhere beneath the shifting sands. But sometimes, the desert gives, even as it takes away. After the winds died down, the prospector found himself in a mysterious pocket among the dunes. There, on a bed of hardpan, a natural cement formed by centuries of evaporating rainwater, lay scattered a fortune in gold nuggets. Despite his desperate situation, he managed to collect 17 pounds of gold before stumbling, half dead, into the Southern Pacific Railroad station at Oglebay. The telegraph operator at Oglebay couldn't believe his eyes when this walking ghost of a man stumbled into his station. He took care of the prospector until he was strong enough to board a train to Los Angeles. In gratitude, the dying man gave him two of the largest nuggets, a gesture that would later help verify this extraordinary tale. But the desert had taken its toll. Though the prospector made it to Los Angeles with his golden treasure, worth more than $5,000 at the time, equivalent to over $100,000 today, he never recovered from his ordeal. Before death claimed him, he made one final gesture. He drew a map marking the location of his incredible discovery and gave it to a friend. This is where our story takes an interesting turn, and where O.T. Willis enters the picture. Willis wasn't your typical treasure hunter. He was a well driller from Yuma, known throughout the region as an honest, hard-working man who knew the desert like the back of his hand. In late 1917, he walked into G.A. Rodenbaugh's general store in Winter Haven with a stranger from Los Angeles, the man with the map. Picture the scene. Willis, looking slightly embarrassed, introduces his companion and announces they need supplies for prospecting. "We're going to hunt gold nuggets in the sand dunes," he says, almost apologetically. Rodenbaugh, the store owner, must have thought they were crazy. After all, the very idea of finding gold in the Algodones defied all geological logic. But the Los Angeles man was convinced. He hired Willis and his specially equipped Ford truck, probably the best vehicle in the Yuma region for such an adventure. The truck had oversized tires, a modification that would prove crucial in their attempts to navigate the treacherous terrain. Their journey began on the main road up the mesa between the Cargo Muchacho Mountains and the Oglebay Hills, crossing the railroad at Oglebay. For 2 miles, they had a straight run down one of the long flat mesa fingers. But then came the challenges. Soft sections undermined by rodent colonies, followed by transverse, sandy washes penetrating the lower sand hills. Willis proved to be a skilled driver, working his way slowly and steadily through shallow, tree-lined arroyos between the ridged foothills of sand. But eventually, they met their match. Attempting to cross a section of low dunes to reach another shallow wash, the truck's back wheels sank to their hubs in the soft blow sand. The high dunes still loomed miles away, taunting them with their golden secret. The Los Angeles man wasn't ready to give up. He returned in 1918 and again in 1919, each time hiring Willis and his truck, each time outfitting at Rodenbaugh's store. They tried different approaches, searching the same section of sand hills north of what is now Highway 80, but the gold eluded them. After the third attempt, the Los Angeles man vanished from the area, though local legend says Willis continued the search on his own. But here's where our mystery deepens. How did those nuggets get there in the first place? The debate continues to this day. Some locals, like Winter Haven's postmaster Rodenbaugh and experienced prospector Ed Rochester, insisted the gold couldn't have occurred naturally in the dunes. They suggested more dramatic origins, perhaps stolen gold from the rich Cargo Muchacho mines, carried by thieves who perished in a sandstorm while trying to escape through the dunes. There's also a fascinating legend from further north, in the Chocolate Mountains, where Indians supposedly once raided a Spanish pack train of gold and threw the treasure into a badger hole. Could something similar have happened in the Algodones? Or perhaps the nuggets were loot from a mine robbery, lost forever when the thieves succumbed to the desert's fury. But there's another, more geological possibility. The Cargo Muchacho Mountains, which have produced millions in gold, lie less than 10 miles east. Another 10 miles eastward are the Picacho Mountains with their fabulous ledges and placers. Could a low outcropping of these gold-bearing mountains have once extended into the dune area, leaving its precious cargo scattered on a flat below? The Algodones have always been more than just a barrier of sand. They're a living museum of American Southwest history. Spanish armor has been found in hidden coves, along with weapons from the U.S. Army and relics from the 49ers. Since Melchior Diaz first encountered these dunes in 1540, they've turned back countless explorers and expeditions. The list of those who failed to cross the Algodones reads like a who's who of Western exploration. Padre Garces was balked and sent wandering in 1771. Juan Bautista de Anza was forced into a great southward arc on his expeditions to California from 1774 to 1776. U.S. General Kearny in 1846 and Colonel Cook with the Mormon Battalion in 1847 were forced to detour around the dunes. The Great California Gold Rush of 1849 was even affected by these imposing sand mountains. Many impatient 49ers lost their lives or property trying to find direct routes across. The famous Butterfield stages had to swing below the international border to avoid them, and the first canals bringing Colorado River water to the Imperial Valley had to be cut through Mexican soil. It wasn't until the 1910s that humans finally conquered the dunes with a narrow roadway of thick planking, maintained by constantly digging its sections from under drifts or filling in support that the wind had whisked away. A paved highway wouldn't appear until 1926, and it took until 1940 for irrigation water to flow through the sand mountains in the engineering marvel known as the All-American Canal. Today, the Algodones remain largely untamed north of Highway 80 and the All-American Canal. Modern vehicles with specialized tires can venture further than Willis's old Ford, but eventually, every explorer must continue on foot. And here's the final twist in our tale. The tracks you make today are gone tomorrow, and the spot where you walked may be buried dozens of feet deep, never to emerge again. Those 17 pounds of gold nuggets, they could be buried under a 100-foot mountain of sand, or they might lie just beneath the surface, waiting for the next windstorm to reveal them. Only the great dunes know, and they keep their secrets, whispered in voices of shifting sand that have baffled travelers for centuries. The next time you're driving along Highway 80 through the Imperial Valley, take a moment to look north at those towering dunes. Somewhere in that vast sea of sand lies a fortune in gold nuggets waiting to be discovered, or perhaps waiting to claim its next victim in the endless dance between man and desert. This has been Southwest Desert. Join us next time for another extraordinary tale from the American Southwest. Check out my large Southwest catalog of videos and playlists on historical tales, legends, lost gold tales, and adult bedtime stories. Happy trails! Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more great content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.